The insanity defense is very controversial because the public perception of it is, here's a person who commits a horrible crime and claims he or she is mentally ill, gets some experts to agree with that, then hoodwinks a jury into believing the insanity defense and gets off, is found not guilty by reason of insanity. But the reality is that very few criminal defendants raise the insanity defense to begin with. I mean, it's far less than 1% of all felony arrests. And those that do raise the insanity defense very often have a pretty good argument, because about 70% of the time prosecutors agree the person's very mentally ill and don't try to prosecute the individual, instead agree to send the person to a mental hospital. And then of those cases that get to trial, the jury only buys the insanity defense between 1/4 and 50% of the time. So it's not successful all that often. Juries aren't fooled by experts or by defendants. And also, I think it needs to be emphasized that mental health experts tend, generally speaking, to be honest. They're not usually hired guns who are going to say whatever the defense or the prosecution wants them to say. Many people wonder why we have the insanity defense, and there are two principal reasons. One is the feeling that if people are severely mentally ill, they don't know that what they're doing is wrong. They don't understand the nature of what they're doing, and that kind of person cannot justly be punished. The other is that people who are severely mentally ill don't listen to the dictates of the criminal law. They're not deterrable because they're so out of it, they're so impaired, that even if you had a cop standing right next to them, they would go ahead and commit the crime. Typically, for a defendant to win an insanity defense, there has to be very strong evidence and a history of evidence of psychosis, which is the psychiatric term for a condition that involves delusions, that is, having beliefs, fixed beliefs about things that aren't really true, or having hallucinations, seeing things that aren't there, having a very incoherent thought process. Jeffrey Dahmer did not have an incoherent thought process. He did not have delusions. He did not have hallucinations. And he was found sane.